On the last episode of Sun and Snow, our 5 heroes, adventurers, assorted dickheads, entered the frozen, though recently thawing village of Thane's Stand on the cusp of the Festival of Renewal. Some members of the group crossed paths, some over a pint or 2 or 3 or 4 of ale. Others connected through a thrown tomato or a pickpocketed totem. Cypher, the elf wanderer, tried and failed to reach the top of the mysterious tower in the village, beheading a guard named Frank in the process. He was arrested and bound to a pole by the order of the Eternal Flame, but was eventually freed by a half-orc woman he has yet to meet face-to-face. Thamur, a Goliath, and Tazaruk, a Dragonborn, members of different tribes, the latter the last of his, bonded over a drink and a friendly wager on the Elven Ranger's fate. They also beat the shit out of a half-orc thief. Nova, a cleric for hire, witnessed a murder, a momentarily zombified head, a scuffle, and a botched ceremony rehearsal for the festival before taking part in a drinking competition and ultimately losing to the sullen-eyed dragonborn barbarian. And then we have Natixia, the half-orc thief with more interactions than anyone else. She got drunk, stole shit, got in a fight, freed the elf ranger, and, for reasons unknown to anyone but herself, removed the bar off the rear door. Then came the attackers. Tazaruk, you find yourself in the same place you visit every night. A burning village. Your village. On the final day of Clan Zarjanix. Longhouses and tents are raised around you, offering an unwanted warmth through the winter chill. Embers and snow squall do battle in the air, but the side of light, you realize, will inevitably fall to the insurmountable winter. The same can be said of your people, as their lifeblood is indiscriminately spilled before you. Men, women, children. It matters very little to those monsters. Frost giants only care for one thing. Your father falls before you, not killed, but incapacitated. Arudmir, their leader, looks to you and smiles. He raises his weapon in challenge. You know what happens next. He opens his mouth to say something to you, but another voice reaches your ears. An unfamiliar one. This one, originating from no single point in your subconscious mind, instead comes from everywhere. The picture of carnage blurs as it hijacks your painful memory. Spared, is all it says to you. This picture, this dream that you're having, it was this crisp, clear vision, and then once that voice starts, it starts to blur. The colors fade into one another. You feel this warmth. You start to sweat a little bit down your face and your arms.
To try to figure out what the warmth is before my dream ends.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for investigation.
That's a big oof. 9.
So the longhouses and the tents that were burning in your dream was giving off a warmth to them, but the warmth of this seems to be coming from some other place, somewhere. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You can't quite put a finger to it.
Oh god, my tent's on fire, isn't it? Can I wake up?
So you hear this voice. You're struggling to wake up. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw. Actually, you know what? Wisdom for willpower.
Oof, that's real bad. 3.
Again, this voice just calls to you. Gauntlet.
Can I scream into the void? Who are you?
You hear the voice return after a moment. Savior.
Am I still feeling the warm feeling?
You do, and it is growing.
Can I try to wake up again?
Yes, that's fine. Go ahead.
God damn it. 7.
You can't wake up. Whatever grasp this thing has on you is not willing to let go, at least not yet. And the heat is growing, you're sweating, it's just running down your arms, dripping into the little bit of snow that you can see below you, the still, like, little bit of snow that you can see from your dream. It's almost a stifling heat. At this point, you're finding it difficult to breathe.
I just keep trying to wake up.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
14. There
14.
we go.
You wrestle with every ounce of willpower that you have in you to get out of this hellscape that you consistently find yourself in. And right before your eyes flutter open to the world of the living, you hear a final word from this disembodied voice. Destroy. You wake up. Your tent is burning, on fire. There's an arrow you can see just poking out through the top.
Well, I'm going to run out of the tent. I mean,
Okay.
I am a fire dragon, so it's not like it's that
you have
big a
resistance.
deal, but... And take a look around at what's going on.
You grab your gear on your way out, and for a moment, you feel like you've awoken from your dream into that same dream. There is screaming, chaos, carnage, people falling before you, tents are on fire. The two houses on the other side of this village, the only other real structures outside of the inn and the tower, are both already burning. You hear glass shattering, people screaming, arrows whizzing through the sky. And you see a group of people, you see their darkened shadows moving through. They don't seem to be members of the Order of the Eternal Flame that you had met the day prior. They seem to be the attackers, but you can't make out who or what they are. Thamir, you sleep way better than everyone else, because he's in a tent, she's in a tent, she's in a dumpster. He's just with no clothes on, still hanging out behind a house.
I have nothing.
So you sleep like a baby. It's nice because you've been out on the road for a couple days. You're at the inn, and you suddenly are awakened from your sleep with a series of loud ringing bells, similar to the ones that you had heard earlier in the day when this one was trying to climb the tower.
Like alarm bells?
Yeah, like alarm bells. You hear shouting, screaming. As you're kind of waking up and you're still clearing the fog of sleep from your mind, the door to your room is suddenly thrown open. And it's Kieran, bartender Kieran. Hi, we're under attack. Get outside. We need to protect the gauntlet at all costs. And he immediately moves on to the next room.
I grab my stuff and head outside.
So you make it outside, and you see essentially the same things that Kazurik had seen, where these tents are on fire. You're seeing more of these flaming arrows coming, mostly from the backside of where the village is, and just colliding with mostly the ground, but some of it is finding purchase in various tents or people's chests as they're running. And you see a handful of these figures that are very rapidly making their way to the tower on the opposite side, because you're walking out, tower's on your right-hand side, and between you and the tower is maybe 2 or 3 of these figures. Actually, roll me a perception check quickly.
Oh, I got a +5 on my performance. Or my perception, so I got a 9.
9? Okay. That's all you see. Although at this time, coming up on your rear is Tazarik. And you see him, because his back is facing you, but he does not see you. Nova, same deal. You're waking up in the midst of this chaos. Your tent, thankfully, has not been set on fire. You're kind of in the further side where the regimented tents are. It seems like mostly the ones that are on fire are like the guest tents.
Okay.
The ones that people who have the pilgrims are staying at.
Okay.
So, you wake up, same deal.
I wake up and I'm in the middle of doing like a religious, because my religion is life. So when I smell the burning, I do like a little ritual thing and pray that nobody is harmed.
Is there anything that prayer does? That ritual or...
It doesn't do anything, but it assists my faith, I guess. I don't want to say it strengthens anything.
Are you in your tent as you're doing this, or have you
Yes,
walked outside?
I'm in my tent. I'm like...
Okay, so you
my
hear
bed's
all
like
of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I just am blocking everything out.
So outside of your tent, you hear Jeff come out of his tent. Oh, geez. Chlorothane, what are we going to do? And then you hear that fat slob of a man. I mean, you know him because you've known him for months, and he's just like, oh, we need to get to the gauntlet. We need to do it now. Zira, get over there as quickly as possible. And you don't even hear Zira's response. You just hear very quick-moving footsteps that lead away from you. And you just hear Jeff just, oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. You hear Glorthane's footsteps leave as well. It seems like his are a lot slower and a lot heavier.
Okay.
Natixia, what are you doing? You just hanging out in the dumpster during this thing?
I wanted to get away from, what was going to happen.
It doesn't seem like anyone's come anywhere near you. Like they wouldn't really have any reason to.
So the attackers are going toward the tower, and the people in the town are trying to protect it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you can gather. So like some of the guards now, these order members are fighting, skirmishing with these other dark figures. Dark figures are large from what you can see, but you can't make out who or what they are.
Can I just kind of creep around and observe what's happening?
Sure. So if you remember, this dumpster was on the backside of the inn. If you wanted to, you can either go up to the inn and stay really close to the side, like attempting to be in the shadows.
$6 each.
And like look around the corner if that's what you want to do. Is there a particular side you want to look on? From where you are, the right side will kind of have a better view of the center of the village and the tower. The left side would have a view of the regimented tents and where you had rescued Cypher earlier.
I'll go over to the right side.
Okay, so you go over to the right side. You're just kind of watching this. It's really dark out. There's a couple of torches and things that were already lit from the guards and things, and then there are more torches lighting up around town. So from where you are, you can see... It's not like it's daytime, but you can see like black and white, like more black than white. Like it's still a lot darker outside of where these torches are being lit up. But you would have a better view of what's happening, what's unfolding before you than like a human would. Mm-hmm. So like you kind of have night vision. It's not great, but it's decent. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of there. You see like same deal. These figures starting to clash with the guards in the center of town. Cypher, we are going to move back to you now. So you are in the back of this house. It only takes seconds because this house is so dry and it's made of wood. So all it takes is a handful of these flaming arrows to hit the house before it starts to take to flame.
Wait, so they're going towards the tower?
Yeah.
So I could have waited a whole time for these guys?
You could. The events in this world happen regardless of like. They don't necessarily need you guys to facilitate them all the time. Like, sometimes they just happen.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So, how close are they?
From where you're located, 200 feet.
Can I run towards them?
Running toward the attackers?
And ask them to help me? Or these guys these guys are not going to help you at all?
You can do whatever you want. They're currently slaughtering people in the middle of town.
Oh, never mind. I'm not going towards these people. Okay. I run away.
So you're still hidden. I mean, like the flames of the house are going to be bright enough at some point where you might be illuminated by them, but you're on the back side of the house.
But I can see these people.
You can look around the corner and see them.
Okay, so I see these people. I immediately say, "Oh shit." Oh shit.
Right.
But I have I'm missing 2 fingers.
They're throbbing by the way.
Yeah. And it's cold. I kind of want to stay in the house where there's fire, but I'd rather not.
I want the burning house to warm me. It actually is somewhat comfortable. It's the most comfortable you felt.
Okay, so I'm feeling warm.
In the past several hours.
I'm feeling warm.
Like flame starts to take to it more and more, starting on the roof and kind of working to the sides. A minute or second passes, and then you just hear, "Oh my God, help me!" from the inside of the house. This female dwarven voice, just screaming, begging for dear life.
Is she upstairs or downstairs? She's upstairs. I'm not helping her.
The house is a single-story house, so she's just on the first floor.
All right, then yeah, I'll bust the door open.
Okay. There is a door on the back side. There is also a handful of windows.
I'll go to the door.
Okay.
I have 2 fingers, man. I'm missing.
So you go over to the door. You're busting the door open?
With my right hand, I open. Try to see if it's open.
The door opens.
Door opens.
It's not even locked.
Perfect.
The door opens and you see her. She's standing there just frozen in fear. Doesn't seem like there's like any reason why she's in this house. But you can see like in the rafters where a bit of flame is starting to peek through the house. And she doesn't even look at you. She's just, help me, help me, help me.
Listen to the sound of my voice. Come towards me. Let's leave.
She looks over at you and there's this look of confusion that crosses her face very briefly as she realizes, like, what is this naked elf doing walking through the back of my house? But that very quickly subsides as she realizes, okay, like, I need to get out of here. Like, she snaps out of it. She starts heading out that way. Oh, thank you. And she just goes right out the back.
Can I ask her for a favor?
Are we under attack? What's going on?
We are under attack, but I'm trying to help you right now, but can you help me right now?
Why? What do you need?
Can you open this chest?
Roll for persuasion.
12.
I'd help you if I could, but my husband, he's the one who, maybe he can talk to the guard or something for you, but he just left. He left just a couple minutes ago. He was heading toward the inn. Maybe you met him. His name was Kieran.
I have met your husband, but I guess gonna get his chest open.
I mean, you did just help his wife.
Once they all leave, maybe he can help you then. I'll put in a good word for you.
That would work for me. My name is Cypher.
Okay. You look like you're in bad shape. Maybe we should just hide back here until it all passes?
Yes. Do you also know any spells about health?
I don't. You see, like, the top of the house is starting to catch fire a little bit more, but she points into the back and she says, I think we might have some health potions or something. Yes! Back toward maybe some of the cooking stuff by the hearth.
Let's go.
Okay, so you run in there. There's starting to be a little bit of embers and things dripping, like from the like bits of burning hay and things dripping down below. And suddenly the ground, which is also a lot of hay and wood, catches around you. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw as you're running across the inside of this house.
20.
Natural 20. These flames are nothing. You leap right over them. The cold from before, like you had warmed up a little bit from the heat of this fire, but you were still pretty cold. You're comfortable now.
Yes, I am.
It's really nice. So you run over. You actually grab 2 health potions off of the side. That's all you can find immediately there. You also find like a handful of like kind of somewhat like expensive looking candleware and stuff. That's just kind of sitting there.
I skedaddle out.
You going back the way you came? Or you going out the front door? Front door is slightly closer to you. The fire is not quite as intense near the front door.
Is she in the back door?
Yeah. The front door opens up to this front courtyard where all the action is.
Yeah, back door.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me another dexterity.
Oh, please give me another 20.
It's with disadvantage this time because what I didn't think of before is that you're carrying a chest,
13?
a heavy chest in your hands.
You're carrying a heavy chest.
So you're rolling twice. It's the lower of the two.
Yeah.
So 13 plus 4, yeah.
Oh yeah. So you make it back. Same deal. You recover. So on the way back, you kind of, as you're making it out, you chug down one of these health potions. You recover 7 points of health. So you move out to the backside, and where Kieran's wife is just sitting. She's kind of on the edge of the building there, just looking out at all this chaos as it's unfolding. You two, you're standing right in front of the inn. You see the house is burning, tents burning. You're next to him.
So
at this point.
I ran up next to him.
You see him. He does not see you.
Do I still see the guys moving toward the tower?
You do. So at this point, for the most part, seem to be their movement has been arrested because there is 2 guards currently skirmishing with them.
I'm gonna walk up to him, tap on him. You want to go back the guards up?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so you guys go over there.
Yep.
Do me a favor. Roll initiative.
Yeah, I figured as much. Oh, you're fucking me. That's a 1. That's a nat
I got a 5.
Oh my god. Well, that's fine because you guys are approaching them, so there's a good chance that they would have seen you at this point. As you guys are running up to this, you're getting a clearer view of what's happening. You can only see the backs of these figures, but Thamir, you recognize immediately that at least one of them is a Goliath, like you. As you're running up, you see one of the guards take a swing at one of these larger figures. It hits him, but it just glances off the armor. That same figure turns around and runs that guard through the gut. And there's you hear a cough. You have dark vision?
I don't have dark vision.
You don't have dark vision. You don't have dark vision either.
No.
All you hear is the cough. And you could tell by the thing's size that it's most likely a Goliath, but it's so dark. Largely, you're just seeing a bunch of figures in this death tango in front of you. Thamir, as you're approaching, you gain a little bit of ground on your companion here, and as you do, one of the figures off to your right-hand side, one of the reinforcements of these invaders, reaches you, and he takes a swing at you. Ooh, and he strikes you. Okay, so you take 6 points of damage as this figure, he strikes you. He has a hammer, so you take bludgeoning damage. He doesn't seem to break any skin. You might have a cracked bone or something.
All right.
And we are going to go to you. What are you doing?
I am going to cast my cantrip Thunderclap. Constitution
saving throw. It's still in the darkness, but you see this first clap. He takes it in stride. He takes the damage, so go ahead and roll. He's just going to take half of it.
5, so
we're going to say he takes 3 damage. But then you see at that same time, there is a second figure that was approaching up on his rear. He was taken off guard by that attack, and he gets blown back 10 feet, and he falls backward into the snow, and you hear as the air leaves his lungs. And at that same time, a third figure, because there was 3 of them coming up on this backside there, He rolls a natural 20 on you because he's going after the guy who just attacked his companion. You take another 6 points of damage. As he kind of has like a broadsword, he takes a swing at you. It seems like it cuts pretty deep against your side. You can feel the warmth against your stomach, but at this point, like the adrenaline's moving, so it doesn't really register too much. Tazarek, what are you doing? You got 3 guys off to your right. 2 of them are currently locked in combat with your friend. 1 of them is on the ground, and to the left of you are 2 guards. Well, the 1 guard was just killed, so 1 guard and 2 of these invaders.
How close is the guard and how close is he?
So it's essentially even. So like you have a choice. You can either go slightly off to the left and help the guard, or go slightly off to the right and help your friend. It's kind of like one of those Telltale Games decisions.
So the 3 are in like a line, or in like a...
There's 2 of them right up on Thamir, and there's a 3rd one in the snow about 10 feet back.
Okay. I'm going to run up to where he is so that I can get... Like, is there a way I can get all 3 of them in my line of sight?
Okay, yeah, if you go off to the right-hand side, first of all, what is the range of your breath weapon?
It's a 15-foot cone. So...
You probably could. There's a chance that you would get your companion in addition.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it. Basically, for it to hit, everyone has to do a dex saving throw.
Natural 1 on the first, 13 on the second, and 14 on the third. Yeah, the one on the ground is fucked. The other 2 are in pretty good shape. They both won, what was it, a 14 and a 15.
Okay. Should he roll 1 as
Yes.
well? Okay.
13 plus 1, so 14.
Good. That is 9 damage. So the guy that's on the ground takes 9, right? And the others take...
So the one on the ground, this is a flame?
Yes.
Flame thing?
Flame attack.
Yeah, so he's on the ground. There's absolutely no chance that, he's going to be able to roll or do anything for it. It's actually as soon as he falls back, you're essentially right up on him. He is engulfed in flame, taking the brunt of this attack, and it actually catches on his clothing, and he just starts screaming, rolling, trying to get the flames off. The other 2, they don't catch fire, but they both take damage, and it seems like at least the one who was closer to you has turned his attention from Thamir to you.
Okay.
So
That is your first attack. You get another
Okay.
one.
You said the one turned towards me.
Yes.
Can I tell what race he is?
It's still dark. Go ahead and roll me just a quick investigation check.
17.
17. This one is an orc.
I'm gonna hit him with my giant slayer hand axe.
Okay.
That is a 19.
19, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
9 damage.
9 points of damage.
Yep.
He's looking rough.
Good.
You're talking about the hand axe? You sink it into his shoulder, and the way that he's facing you, it's his non-dominant shoulder. He's carrying his other weapon in his right hand. Actually, it's a 2-handed weapon, because it's the warhammer. So, yeah, he's going to be pretty hurt coming after you. At the same time, you see the guard fighting off these 2 other, kind of off on your peripheral, because you're facing this way, but you can kind of see it off in the corner of your eye. More like this writhing mass of bodies. You don't really see... You can see that blows are being traded back and forth, but you can't really tell at this point even who is who. So you don't really know what's going on. Thamir, the guy going after you, the only other one that's still paying attention, he takes another swing at you with this... What did I say? It was a broadsword? He brings the weapon up overhead. You were able to bring your staff up just enough time to block his weapon. He only rolled a 2. There's no other guards or anything coming up to your guys' aid at this point. You can kind of see behind where the guy who had just attacked you was. The one who was on the ground is now just starting to get up. He's still fighting to get these flames off, so for the entirety of his turn, all he's doing is patting away at the flames, ultimately extinguishing them, and then standing. So he's not able to do anything for his turn. And
Is it my turn again, or?
Tazaruk, you were fighting this orc. He rolled 15. That does hit? I'm sorry. Okay, so you take 3 points of damage. He struggles to get his warhammer up and aimed at you, but ultimately he's able to struggle through that pain and get to you. Tixie and Cypher, I want each of you to roll a perception check from where you are currently located watching the battle.
7.
18.
You're not able to see much through the garbage and things that are currently piled on top of you. But from where you are, and you have dark vision, so you probably have a better view of what's going on than
I
most
moved
people
away
would.
from the dumpster, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Didn't I go over on the right of somewhere?
Oh, yeah, you're on the side of the building. So, same deal. You're kind of off on the side. You can see, you can't tell that it's them, but you can see that two more figures, approach from one side, from the direction of the inn, and 3 more figures came from that back gate, and they're now all having this conflict in the center of town. But you can't make out who or what or anything. From where you are, you see the same deal. You see these guys heroically rush to aid the guards. But you also see out of the corner of your eye another figure underneath one of the carts, or one of the wagons in the center of town. It doesn't seem to be moving.
No movement. So for me to get to this person, I have to go through the battlefield.
You're kind of like off to the end. You could probably go around the walls. I'd have you roll a stealth check, but you wouldn't have to go through any of the actual battle, so long as nothing saw you.
Oh, stealth? Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. 17 plus 7.
You're so quiet, man, you almost leave the narrative. You almost leave the game itself. You sneak over to where this cart is, and you kind of have to, go down to your stomach in order to truly see what this thing is, because it's tucked in a ways. And it takes a second or so for your eyes to adjust, and then you're kind of taken back a second, because you're looking back into the lifeless eyes of that creepy elf that you had met before.
Oh.
And you notice a crossbow bolt sticking out of his neck.
Oh no.
I killed him.
Kind of. The guard killed him, technically. It's odd because where the placement of this bolt is almost exactly where his tattoo is on his neck.
Can I say an elvish prayer?
Yeah.
Does he have any things on him?
Roll me an investigation check.
I'm gonna loot him.
I say a prayer for my falling brother, and then I steal all of his stuff.
Steal everything. Which one's
He
is
doesn't
that?
need it anymore.
D20?
Yep.
Take my odds. Oh, 2 plus 1.
He's wearing a lot of layers of clothes, which is something that you had picked up on before.
Yeah.
They're like thinner, fancier garb, but he just has on so many layers, and you can't tell where any of the pockets are. So you kind of take a really long time struggling to find where they are.
I'm taking his stuff. I'm letting you know. I'm taking his stuff.
We're gonna come back to you.
All right, okay. He's getting naked.
So at this point, I'm now realizing people are dying.
You actually hear outside, "Help me, I'm dying! I wish there was a healer or someone."
So I know that I have a couple cantrips or spells that can possibly heal people, but right now I'm kind of checking in with myself.
I want to make sure I'm okay first.
And making sure that I have all the tools that I need, because I don't have any weapons. So I'm just debating and praying to see and ask life what I should do, because I value life more than anything.
Hashtag self-care.
So as you hear the people dying outside, you say, "I value life more than anything." And then you think real hard about how much you value life. Alright, we'll come back around to you in a bit. Again, out of the corner of your eye, Tazurek, you see more of this chaos kind of going off to your left-hand side. You can hear grunts and groans and metal hitting metal, but you have no idea who's winning. You know still that the guard is outnumbered, so he's probably not faring very well. The guy who had just patted his flames and everything out goes running after you now because you just set him on fire, and he's going to take a swing at you. He rolled a 14.
My AC is 14.
So that hits. 3 points of damage. And you see, same deal as he's kind of coming up to you. You recognize the orcish features that are on him. At that same time, the other one that you were fighting takes a swing at you, rolls a 19.
Oof.
He does another 3 points of damage to you. So now there's two of them. You're trying as hard as you can to parry these blows. It ain't happening. And Thamir, the one attacking you, and as you realize as he's right up on you, this one is a human. He's swinging. He's still caught up here with you. It is your turn, Thamir.
My turn. I go ahead and attack with my quarterstaff. 15 plus 4, so 19.
Okay, yeah, you hit. Roll for damage.
3 plus 1, so 4.
4 points of damage.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to do a flurry of blows, which is plus 4. So 8 damage total.
So he swings down at you. You're able to block it. You push him off, smack him in the face with it, and then still holding your staff in your hands, you're punching him with like the staff there. You're putting some hurting on this guy. All 3 of the ones that you're fighting are now currently considered bloodied, so like they are less than half health. Pazarek.
I am going to...
You're not fighting 2 of them.
Is one of them more injured than the other?
The one who had just gotten up, who was on fire.
Okay. I'm gonna attack him with my giant Slayer hand axe. That's 25.
That's it.
Ooh, 11.
With your hand axe. Bear in mind, this guy just got to you. And then he did a swim, a little bit of damage to you. You're pissed. So you swing this hand axe out, and it cuts straight through his neck. His windpipe, like the back of his head kind of rolls back just a little bit. There's like a gurgle where he's attempting to breathe, but it's just...
Yeah. It's a nearly headless neck.
Nearly. And he just falls backwards into the snow, and the blood very quickly pools around him, melting the snow.
He basically just gave me a paper cut. I just went...
Yeah. Nearly took his head off.
Alright, so I still have one more attack. So I'm going to use my giant Slayer hand axe again and attack the other one. It's a 19.
That hits.
Damn, that's only 7 damage.
Only 7 damage. You take the second axe down into like the back of his, like into his hamstrings. He doesn't entirely collapse, but that side of him, which would be his left side, falls, like just kind of onto a knee, and he just through through gritted teeth. You still searching this body?
I'm taking this guy's clothes, anything he got on him.
Okay, as you're searching through, it's taking a really long time to try to find things of value on him, and during that time, there are guards and like people just running past you. Go ahead and roll me another stealth check.
4 plus 7.
One of the guards, as he's running by, he looks in your general direction, and he makes eye contact with you. And then at that same moment, you hear in the distance toward the tower, "Glorthane, no!" And the guard just starts taking off again that direction. Go ahead and roll me another investigation check.
17 plus 1, 18.
So this time, among his robes and things, you happen to find another health potion.
Yay! I'm getting my health back. Got 8 right now.
You find a flask that seems to be maybe between halfway and 3/4 full of some kind of liquid.
Taking everything out of him.
Smells alcoholic.
Oh, I'm drinking it.
And you find a coin purse full of just some loose change. We'll say you're not gonna have time to count through it, but let's just say 10 gold, 10 silver, 10 copper.
I want his coat.
Okay. You take his coats as well because you're cold as shit.
I'm cold as shit. I want his coat.
And as you're struggling to put these coats on, because they're really thin, so you're just putting one on after the other, and as you're putting one on, your hand slips into one of the pockets, and you pull out a folded and creased piece of parchment, and on its front, where the edges of the paper meet, is a circular wax seal that is broken.
Ooh, I want to open it.
There's all this chaos and things around you, and you kind of you have these coats and things on now. You're kneeling, kind of taking cover behind this cart. And you notice on this paper, on its facade, pressed with a charcoal-colored ink, is a handprint, though unlike any hand you've ever seen. Instead of the carefully patterned lines and crevices common along the average palm and fingers, the ink shows an unnatural, asymmetrical, and grotesque imprint. The hand, you think it's humanoid, bears the scars and toils of a distant injury. And underneath it, so that was kind of on the outside of this letter, so you open it up, and on the inside is a single picture of a dark-skinned cleric woman who you recognize. And underneath the picture is a collection of jumbled and incoherent markings and symbols.
What's the language?
Roll me a intelligence check.
3 plus 1.
That's the same thing.
I was saying, that's exactly what it was over here.
You have no idea what this language is. You've never seen it before. It doesn't even look like a language. It just looks like gibberish.
You sure? Because I speak 5 different languages.
Let me see what language it is.
He's like, what the fuck?
No, you do not read it. It doesn't look like a language to you. It just looks like a bunch of random ass symbols.
Alright, I say, well, I'm going to keep it. How about that?
So you put it in your pocket. You're a lot warmer now because you have all these things on. And you also find among the belongings of this guy, a kit of thieves' tools. I know that it sounds convenient, but this guy was into some shady shit. What are you two doing?
Am I near anyone?
Not really. You're still maybe 60 feet or so from where their combat is. You still see them fight, and it's only been a couple minutes from your perspective.
So I want to do something to get my health back. Is there anywhere around with like potions or...
The trash pit's behind you. The inn, there's a back door to the inn, so you can go in and rummage through some stuff if you wanted to. You're aware of there being a cleric's tent in the regimented portion of where the tents were, but like you'd have to make your way out that way, and you're still wanted.
I'll head over that way stealthily.
To my tent?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check. No, but what do you do?
20 plus stealth.
So I begin to head out to where the action is.
Okay. What did you roll in stealth?
23.
So you start heading out, like you leave your tent. You see the same thing a lot of these guys are seeing: tents on fire, the building's on fire, people are fighting all around the village, and you start heading toward where the brunt of it is. I'm assuming that's where you wanted to go, which is where these guys are currently fighting in the guards, like right essentially in the center of town. And as you're walking away, Natixia, you see her leave her tent. And you see her start heading that direction. She is moving with a purpose. She does not see you. She has no idea that you were there, nor does anybody else.
Is her tent on fire?
It's not.
I'm gonna go through her tent then.
You go into her tent. Roll me an investigation check. Is there anything special that she would find in your tent?
14.
Okay.
Like,
Bedroll, couple extra changes of clothing, a pot to poop in.
yeah, because all of my skills are like up here, right? Maybe like a tiny med kit, but like nothing worth much, maybe. Like Tylenol. You do see with this ritual that she was conducting prior to leaving the tent. You see some of the remnants of that. There is some money, like a coin purse that she had left behind. Not anything crazy. We'll say like maybe 10 gold worth of coin.
No, she can keep her money. Really just looking for something to get my health back up.
You do remember that in front of her tent, just a little bit in front of it, was where that stand was. Thane's stand, Thane's stand. So that did, you can imagine, have some stuff in it. All of the combat and everything is moving toward the other side of the village, so no one seems to be paying any attention to you. We'll come back to you in a second. Back to you two. Thamir, you hear from behind you this blood-curdling scream, and then it's abruptly cut into silence as the guard who is fighting for his life behind you is no more.
Damn it, I was gonna go save him this turn.
At that same time, because he was fighting two people, the second person he was fighting comes up behind you.
Do I know he comes up then?
You do not. He's getting a surprise attack on you.
Uh-oh.
That is a 16 to hit.
Oof.
Yep. Can I use my stone's endurance?
Go ahead and roll a 1d12. And mark that off on your sheet, because I think you can only use it like
once per short rest.
Now, is this tower modern? Like, what does it look like?
It's like a black obsidian tower. It stands out pretty strong against the surrounding snow.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
3. You take 3 points of damage.
Oh.
That helps.
So it's not too bad. But you feel as the blade sinks in between your shoulder blades. It doesn't sink in very deep. Can't get through the thick muscle and hide. But you feel this warmth travel through your body, an uncomfortable warmth. And it feels to a degree that your blood is now boiling. You're poisoned.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
The one from in front of you also attacks you. 14.
My armor class is 13.
You take another 3 points of damage. They're whacking on you, man. Like you're splitting up your focus. And the one going after you, oh, you're lucky. It just rolls an 11.
Oof. Sucks for him.
Thamir, it is now your turn.
I'm going to use Thunder Wave this time.
Okay. That will hit all of them. That'll hit the ones that won't hit the one who just killed the guard, but it will hit both the ones who attacked you and the one who's attacking you. So, what do I got? I rolled an 18 on the first, 4 on the second, 19 on the third.
Doesn't that hurt?
So 1 fails, 2 succeed.
So you needed a 13 to save.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
2d8, which is 1, so 8 damage.
Okay. Almost simultaneously, there's this wave of energy that floods out from you. So you get thrown back.
Yep.
And the one who was just attacking you and the one who was attacking you, simultaneously, their skin leaves their bones. You blow it clean off. It's like when you see like a mannequin after a nuclear explosion where it just takes all the stuff off first.
Uh-huh.
All the clothes and things just get blown clear off of them, and then the rest of their bodies just tumble, and they are dead. The one who attacked you from behind takes some damage as well, but he was the one who had succeeded. So
Okay.
he takes a little bit of damage, but he's still looking pretty good.
Can I use a bonus action?
Yeah.
I turn around and use Flurry of Blows.
So you're expending key points, right? When you're doing these? Because that's 2 that you would have used.
Yeah, I get 2 key points. So
this is your final one.
yeah, for damage.
So whack, whack, whack. You're hitting him again with those knuckles on your staff. Yeah, you're just doing one of these. He's still doing pretty okay. And you see the other attacker who had just killed the guard now turn his attention to the 2 of you. Tazaric. You just got thrown back 10 feet. You're on the ground.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
I killed 2 of them.
How far am I from the guy who just killed the guard?
The one who killed the guard, maybe 30 feet. But it's going to take half your movement speed just to stand.
So I'm gonna stand and throw a javelin at it. That's a 9.
9. Your javelin disappears into the darkness. You hear. No, I'm just kidding. And actually, from the direction that you are, you see a javelin stick into the ground maybe 30 feet from the wagon that you're kind of behind.
So I have this guy's clothes, right?
You do, and you have his kit.
So with this kit, can I find something in there that will open my chest?
Real quick, I still have 1 attack. I'm gonna throw another javelin.
Go ahead. Roll a natural 1.
Nope, that's 15.
15, that hits. Roll for damage.
Oh yeah, 9 damage.
Okay. Now on T. Roll me a dexterity check.
11 plus 7.
You've never used a set of these tools before.
Oh, my babies.
It's rare for you, but you're a quick learner.
Yes, I am. Totally.
You play around with it a little bit. It takes you a good bit of time, but ultimately you hear that it opens. You got your chest. I want to comment too. When you had got that chest originally, your bow obviously would not have been inside of it because it's a long bow. So that was just been over your shoulder this whole time.
Okay, but my arrows are in there.
But your arrows are in there.
But my 2 broken swords?
Yeah, your broken swords are in there.
I don't want that shit. I don't want those swords.
It's evidence.
Alright, I'll keep, get the bows, get my money, my potions.
Mm-hmm.
How many turns do I have left?
That's going to be the end of your turn.
All right.
Just to get that stuff out.
All right, that's
you can
good.
equip your stuff on the next turn. What are you two doing?
I'm gonna search Thane's stand.
That's right. Roll me an investigation check. She's just trying not to die. I love it.
13.
You're able to find it pretty quickly. It doesn't look like they had kept it out like unattended on the stand, like unsecured in the stand. But like you just had to move a couple things aside, and then sure enough, go ahead and roll me a d12 die.
9.
You find 9 health potions.
Nice.
I mean, it was the healing tent, the stand. So you find 9 health potions. As a bonus action, I'll allow you to take one of them if you want to do that now.
Okay, I'll do that.
You restore 6 points of health
Okay.
on that one. You have 8 remaining, so just make sure you mark that somewhere. Nova.
I see them as I'm running over, and as an avid Final Fantasy player, I know that we're stronger in numbers, so I use my blessed spell.
Cool. Yeah, you can bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. So, I mean, there's 2 of them. So you can bless both of them and yourself if you wanted to. So you guys can add a d4 to your attack rolls. Or a saving throw if you needed to do one of those. You don't have to roll for anything.
Okay.
All 3 of you feel this divine energy wash over you. The divine energy of life.
Thank God.
Thamir, you're kind of in a weird placement because Tazaruk is kind of backed further away, so you're the only one within melee range of anyone right now.
How many people are around me?
There's only the one who was right in front of you, or you kind of turned around. He was the one who initially attacked you from behind. And he only rolled an 11. And the other one is... So, like, the javelin had hit him. It pierced him, but it's not incredibly deep. He just pulls it out and throws it right back at you.
Oh.
And he rolls a 4. So it just whips right past you, but it is with a incredible amount of strength.
How close is he to me?
Like 10, 15 feet.
So it's my turn?
It's your turn, yep.
Alright, I'm going to cast Warding Wind around myself.
Okay.
Deafens you and other creatures, extinguishes unprotected flames. Area is difficult terrain for creatures other than yourself. Attack rolls of ranged weapon attacks have disadvantage.
So there's this loud, deafening, just that goes through the town. Centered around him, Nova and Matixia and Cypher, all of you, just all of your attention just turns to where this gust of circular wind is now just generating out of nowhere around him. Zerk.
How far am I from the guy that I threw the javelin at that threw it back at me?
30 feet from him, and then 15 feet from the other one, the one that he's fighting.
I'm gonna run up to my walking speed is 40 feet, so
Okay.
I'm gonna run up to the other guy, the one that the javelin exchange happened with. And can I tell what his race is when I get up to him?
You do. As you get closer, you realize this is the larger one that you had seen before. This is a Goliath.
Okay. I'm gonna attack him with both of my hand axes. So the Giant Slayer hand axe and the Vicious hand axe. The Giant Slayer is a 27, and the other one is a 18.
Very nice. Both of them hit.
Giant Slayer is gonna do 9 damage, and the other one is gonna do 8 damage.
Stone's Endurance. He's going to take off all 9 of the 9 points and just take 8 points of damage. He just shrugs it off, and he looks at you, and froth forms along the edges of his mouth. His eyes grow wide and bloodshed. His muscles seem to grow to twice their size. He says, "I'm going to break you." He just entered into a rage. What are you doing?
Okay, so I got my stuff back. So wait, how bad are the swords? Like, let's say
They're shattered. So you essentially have the hilt and then maybe 2 to 3 inches of blade on either one. The shards themselves, because they had shattered when they hit the ground, are just gone.
all right. So I don't pick up the
Yeah, there's nothing really.
I just pick up my bows. Pick them up. Pretty much, I equip everything that's in my case except the 2 short swords. But I pick my bow, and I have a long bow, like you said. I have potions, right?
You do?
Can I use that potion?
Roll a 1d6 plus 4.
What happened?
That's 1.
It was
You returned 5 points of health. That's a bonus action, so you can still do something.
Okay, so I see that 1 tornado. Okay, let's say now that I'm warm. Am I hungry?
Yes.
Hungry? You know what? I have rations in my John, anyways.
He's just gonna eat.
Yeah, I'm a swallow the food. I have it's literally one rations a day, so I'm gonna use it.
Are you still hanging out right at this cart?
Yeah, I'm right under. I'm still in the.
You're hanging out with the dead body?
Yep.
The naked dead body at this point because he took all of his clothes off.
Yeah, he's pretty much naked.
Yeah, so you just sit down. You're like a kid at a theater eating popcorn, just watching.
Yeah,
all of this. Getting your health back up. Atixia.
Okay, so I'm gonna take another health potion.
1d6 plus 4.
6.
Okay.
So
You restore 6
10.
points. Oh, yeah. 10 points of health.
Full health. I'm gonna getting kind of hungry too. I'm gonna go sneak into. Does the inn have food?
It does.
Okay. I'm gonna head over there.
You go to the back of the inn.
Raid the kitchen.
Roll me an investigation check.
Well, theoretically, wouldn't everyone be in the village already out?
Everyone is out of the inn. They're all fighting out in the streets. The inn is empty.
Yeah, you don't have to sneak in.
No, you're barely sneaking. I'm just seeing what
I
you
was hoping
find.
I could protect
16.
Jack. But
Okay, you find copious amounts of alcohol. Just bottles, including some of the ale that you had really enjoyed the night prior. There's a little bit of food that is still warm, but it's kind of late in the evening, so there's not a whole lot. But we'll say like a little bit of lukewarm roast and potatoes and lots of alcohol.
Right, I'm gonna eat, and there's no one in the inn.
It's empty. Currently
Is it on
empty.
fire?
There are little bits. I mean, it's the largest building outside of maybe the tower, if you consider that, in this town. There's a little bit of fire to it, but it doesn't seem to be taking to the flame as easy as some of the houses were. There's a lot more stone in this building,
All right,
but it is on fire.
This.
I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna head back outside and just kind of hang out.
I'm just imagining, it's like that meme where you're that dog in the burning room, like, this is okay.
Wait,
So that's your turn.
we're just eating while these guys are fighting.
Yeah. Nova.
So I attack with my spiritual weapon.
Okay, you're attacking the final guy.
Nice.
He's facing all of you
All
still at this
right.
point.
All right, give me good news, Emily. Or it takes
2.
2 plus what?
plus 3.
5 damage.
See, what spiritual weapon did you choose?
I think I'm gonna do just a hiking stick, one of those long, natural hiking sticks.
And you said how many points of damage?
It is 5 points.
So you whack him pretty good. You run right up to him, and he's kind of taken aback because at this point he'd only seen these two in combat when he initially turned around, and you just kind of came out of nowhere and whacked them. All three of you guys roll a perception check.
Can you tell me?
Yeah. 12.
Nice!
It's
17.
okay. All of you notice this to varying degrees because it's not a very difficult thing to miss. The light at the top of the tower is suddenly extinguished. It goes out. And there's a couple seconds that pass. And everything is now it's darker than it was before. You two are almost entirely blinded. Nova, you're still able to see a little bit. And you're kind of facing the tower and where this conflict is. You notice just at the last minute, directly ahead of you, as this light goes out, this giant creature emerges from the entrance of the tower.
I knew it was something in there.
Well, and there behind him are more of these attackers, and in their hands is whatever this glowing thing was, presumably the gauntlet. You can just barely see some of it shining through the cloak that has been draped over it, like little bits of light coming out of it. The two smaller creatures, including the one holding this thing, turn around and start heading toward the palisades against the tower, while the largest one, this lumbering creature in full armor, starts walking toward you guys.
Oh, thank God.
You see these order members, these orders of the Eternal Flame. They show up a little bit late, and they just get swept aside like rag dolls by this ginormous axe that this creature just
Are you
wields,
serious?
knocks
Hold
them
on.
aside, and he's heading your guys' direction. Famir.
How far away is he?
Just exiting the tower, you're kind of halfway between the inn and the tower, so he's still like 60 feet.
60.
Moving kind of slow.
Well, then I'll use Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
1d8.
Yeah.
Plus
Go ahead and
spellcasting
restore
modifier,
your health.
which is plus 2.
Tazeric. What are you doing?
How far from me are the guys who took the gauntlet?
Same deal. They're heading the other direction, so right now it's roughly 60 feet, but it's going to be growing as time continues. You cannot reach them. You can sprint that direction. The guy ahead of you will get an opportunity attack, and then you'll still have to go through this big guy before you get to them.
I healed 6 health.
You take 4 points of damage from the poison as it continues to course through your veins.
One of the guys is carrying the gauntlet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's one like right kind of adjacent from him off at a diagonal.
I'm
Yep,
gonna
their backs are
run.
to you.
If I run 40 feet towards them, what happens?
You'll still have it. You'll still have an
within
action.
20 feet of them.
You would still have the larger guy between you and them, and you'd still have a turn. You still have an action if you wanted to do something.
So ultimately, I could run 40 feet towards them and throw one of my javelins at the guy that's
You could attempt to.
right.
He's gonna have cover because he's behind the big guy.
Okay.
So he's like 3/4 obscured. That's like a +5 to his AC. And the guy that you're going to pass is going to get an opportunity attack on you.
I'm gonna go for it.
So the first one that you have to run past gets a swing at you. He only rolls a 10. So he just it's a clean miss. So you're running up there within 20 feet and you're throwing a javelin.
Yep.
Okay, who are you throwing it at? The guy with the
The
gauntlet?
guy with the gauntlet.
Okay.
23.
You're rolling with disadvantage. It's dark.
True. I didn't think about that.
Don't you wish you were an elf now, huh,
That's a
bud?
13. That's 20. So let's roll with bless. 21.
Okay, nice. You feel this divine sense. It's helping you with this throw. And you just have a feeling that your target is that direction. At that point, it's getting darker and darker and darker. And you throw it toward that little bit of light that you can see, like in his arms. And it takes him by surprise. He kind of jolts forward. The orb or the gauntlet, whatever it is underneath this cloak, falls to the ground, and you see like he kind of whips around, looking back in your general direction before being obscured by this big monstrosity that's now still heading your direction. And you see the other one fumbling toward where it is.
So was the monster released by the people attacking?
This is one of the attackers. Presumably, he's the one who destroyed the gate. He's the one who threw the door open once the bar was cleared.
But we didn't see him until
didn't see
after
him,
he
yeah.
came out of...
Yeah.
Okay.
With the exception of you, the rest of them were sleeping for the first bit of this conflict, and you were only able to see so much from where your vision was, like inside of this dumpster. So there was an opportunity you would have seen him. I had him roll a perception check right in the beginning, and you rolled low, so you didn't see that group. But outside of him, no one else would have seen him.
I still have a bonus action, right? I would like to rage.
Okay. So you match the intensity of the guy who just raged before. So you had run past this fighter. It's essentially this Goliath. It's essentially him versus Nova and Thamir. And Thamir, you look toward him, and for the first time, as he's lighting up a torch in his free hand, you see his face for the first time. And it's a face that you recognize. And there's this moment as his eyes are looking into yours that there's this shared recognition between you and him. And he kind of, you see that he smiles a little bit. There's like a sneer and a smile. And he says something, but you can't hear it through the wind. You recognize him as a member of your tribe. His name was Bonespar the Unbroken.
Bonespar the Unbroken.
Bonespar the Unbroken. He was like one of the top hunters in your tribe. It's been a while since you've been with your tribe, a couple of years now. But you recognize him, clear as day, right in front of you. And it's his turn. He is turning to Nova. And he's raging. But before he rages, he is going to use his bonus action to do a frenzied rage. So he's entering into the next level.
This is not good.
Nah, it ain't.
If only you guys would have attacked sooner with me.
Listen, you were on some other shit.
Now look at y'all.
What's your AC? You rolled a 13 on the first.
11.
Oh shit. Yeah, he hits you.
No.
Yeah.
He's raging, just his face is bright red. You can see the veins bulging in his neck. He takes one swing at you. So he has his torch in one hand, and he has this large axe that he's wielding in the other. Like, since he's grown, he's essentially now wielding a two-handed weapon with one hand. He takes one swing at you. You take 6 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
He takes another swing at you, and you're able to stave off the second blow for one reason or another. Maybe your god is with you today.
I guess so.
Oh, and he, what did I say, 6 damage? It was 8 damage. He has a +2 to damage with melee weapons while raging. Thumir,
I am going to run up to him and attack him with my quarterstaff.
is your little gust thing moving with you?
Yeah, it moves. It keeps centered on me. Difficult terrain for other creatures. 8.
You take a swing at him with your staff, and he's like just smiling widely now. And he uses his torch to block your staff, and he's just staring down like into your soul. Kazaruk,
How close am I to the big dude?
15 feet. So you were 20 feet from the dudes you threw the stuff at, and they were pretty close to him still.
Probably.
I was gonna say, are they still
Like you
there?
bought dice?
Like where
Oh, yeah.
where I hit him with the
Actually, I already
javelin?
had them.
Or can I not tell?
You can't, because he's right in front of you. The guy's obscuring your vision. And it's pretty dark.
How big are we talking?
He's bigger than you.
I was looking
I'm talking
that
like-
all day.
Is he just like, somewhat taller, or is he like a
Every time I
massive?
attack,
No,
I
imagine he's
so-
like you. You can't tell like his
Everything's
rough
a mess
dimensions because he's wearing
everywhere.
armor, but he's big.
I'm gonna attack him with my hand axes. Can I
Roll to hit for
tell?
both.
Can I tell what his race is or no?
No, it's just a figure of armor.
Okay. Well, the Giant Slayer hand axe does 22,
Yes,
and the Vicious hand axe only does 12.
Take a bone out to the dick.
22 and 12.
22 and 12.
Damage.
The first one hits just barely.
That's
So they both hit. Only one of them seems to actually do any damage. This
Yeah.
armor is very thick. He's a thick boy. He's done it.
He's a giant? Ooh. It says when you hit a giant with it, the giant takes an extra 2d6 damage of the weapon's type. He's going to take 3d6 plus 5. And he has to succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or fall prone.
He falls prone.
You're gonna handcuff him?
Position. Oh, wow. All fours. So that's 12 plus 5, 17 damage.
17 damage. He takes half of that because he has resistance to melee weapons. So we'll say, what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. And he falls to a single knee, and there's just like a that accompanies it, and you see a little bit of breath that escapes through the helmet.
As a bonus action, I will frenzy attack.
So you're going to go into frenzied rage
go
as a
frenzied
bonus.
rage,
You
yes.
can't use that until next. You can go
Right,
into the bonus,
right,
but
right.
yeah, you got it. Okay.
So that'll be-
Are you two doing anything?
Oh, finally, my turn. Whoa.
I guess I can go help.
Yeah, I want. Do I have another potion or no?
You have one remaining.
I'm taking it. Wait, if I take this potion, does that end my turn?
It's a bonus action, so you can still move and attack.
Okay, then I'm taking this potion because if I'm gonna attack anything, I want to have good health. I'm coming, guys. Don't worry.
He ate a whole meal.
Yeah.
He had 3 health potions.
I was just in prison. You threw a fucking tomato at me.
You lost me 5 gold.
This guy broke my nose.
Yeah, fuck them, right? Fuck them. Okay, I'm taking this potion.
Okay, 1d6 plus 4.
The rate
2.
is fast.
2 6 points of health.
Swiftly
Oh,
going to your
wow.
death.
So you're doing a bit better.
Yeah, I'm getting there. All right, so
You
that's
got movement yet, and an
There
action.
you go.
all right. So how far am I from the action?
Roughly 90 feet.
And I see the big motherfucker, don't I?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You see the silhouette of the big motherfucker. Your dark vision goes out to about 90 feet, and it just got a lot darker with that thing.
But I had dark
Power
vision.
missing. You do up to 60 feet.
60, so I can see 60 feet in front.
You can see pretty well 60 feet. Beyond that, it's kind of obscured, kind
Okay,
of shadowy.
can
you
I-
can see the fighting, but you can't really make out what the figures are. You just see the big-ass figure.
Okay, I want to move appropriately where I can see the action.
Oh, now you know.
Okay, you can move. What's your movement speed? 30, 35 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet.
Cool, yeah. So you're able to move 30 feet. You just on the cusp of where your vision would fail.
Okay.
You can see them. So
I
yeah.
can see, I see everything going on.
Yeah, from where you are. Yeah, you see everything.
Okay, lit. All right. Can I shoot a bow and arrow at the guy he's fighting?
You can try.
I'm gonna aim for the eye. It'll be plus 7.
So you'd roll an 18.
Yeah.
Cool.
Second.
So your arrow starts heading that direction, hits the armor in the face,
Oh, okay.
and flies off.
Oh, he didn't feel the.
And does nothing.
He does not feel it.
Wow.
Does not feel it. It hits him, but it just glances right off the
I
armor.
was aiming for the eye.
Yeah. Matixia.
I guess I'll go for the one that they're fighting, because fuck that guy.
Okay, so you start heading that direction. You are clear on the other side. It's going to take your entire turn to get to them. Probably should be a little bit more than that, but we'll say just a turn. Cool. So back up to the top of the order. So you're locked up with this guy.
How close are you to me?
Like 10 feet or so.
Yeah.
You're closer to 5 feet, because you were just in melee range of this dude, and then you came to him. So, yeah, you guys are right there. So you're with Bonespar, and it is his turn. He leans into you, and through the gust of the wind, you can hear him. He's almost yelling, but there's this, like, whispered quality to the words that he's saying. Thumir, runt of the Gathakani. Definitely mispronounced that. It surprises me not to see you here among these degenerates. Step aside or be mowed down like the rest of them.
I was trying to write it down.
The Gathakanathi. The Gathakanathi. He gave me this fucking ridiculously long. Gathakanathi.
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 Oh my god.
He is setting up for a patient defense.
I'm gonna hit him with a quarterstaff.
Roll with disadvantage. 4?
Yeah.
You're not gonna work yet at all, man.
I am not. This is a bad dice set.
So he initially had blocked your quarterstaff. This time he grabs it. So now his large hand is wrapped around both his torch and your staff. And he just looks in closer to you. You think Jorgen sent you away to sketch bison? No. He was ashamed of you, Thomir. The embarrassment. Tazaruk, it's your turn.
So I'm in a
Hurting your
frenzy.
feelings.
So I'm in a frenzy, so I can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action.
You can.
So I can make 3 melee weapon attacks.
You can.
Yeah, use the bow.
So I'm going to hit with my Giant Slayer hand axe, then the Vicious hand axe, then the Giant Slayer hand axe again.
Here's the crazy thing. He is currently knocked down to a knee.
Yeah.
All of those strikes are with advantage.
Alright, I'm going one at a time. I'm gonna use both dice with each one. So, wow, that's
Sheesh.
garbage.
Sheesh.
A 3 and a 2.
Okay.
So,
He's not
first-
even trying to block any of these hits. It's just hitting his armor and doing nothing.
So that's the first swing. Then the second one I'm gonna come down and nat 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay, roll for damage. But he's resistant to melee weapons, so don't double it. Just do your normal addition.
9 damage. And then for my third swing, it was 25. Since that's with the Giant Slayer hand axe, does he have to do another strength saving throw? Would that knock him back so he'd be laying down instead of being on me?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, no, I missed the box. So that's 1, so that's 5, 12 plus 5, so 17 and a half.
Yeah, we'll say 9 points
9.
of damage. And he rolled a 15.
And he rolled a 15. It is a 15 strength saving throw.
Okay, so he is successful on that. So you were over top of him at this point, and you're just you're not sure which hits are actually striking and which ones aren't. I mean, you're making contact with each one, but you don't know which ones are hurting, and you're just swinging and swinging and swinging. You hear some grunts and things below you, and Nova, it's your turn.
So I want to do a blind / deafness spell
Okay.
on him.
Okay. What do I need? It's
Intimidating my partner.
What is my saving throw?
Thanks. If you
Constitution 11.
Oh.
Constitution of 11
Yeah.
and 11. Plus 2 Constitution. I rolled a 9.
Oh, I have a great play.
So-
So he
Cheat sheet.
succeeds. He succeeds.
After that unsuccessful throw, I suggest that we move back to Thomir.
You're with Thomir right now.
Yeah,
You're saying,
that we retreat.
you're saying it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, she's within 5 feet of me.
Oh, and it's a 10-foot vortex.
Oh, I'm in the vortex too.
Yeah, all three of you
I
are.
fucking hate you.
Damn.
You do hear it. She's saying, we need to get out of here. Retreat. Nova, is that the end of your turn?
Yes, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. We're on to the big guy. You're coming up.
Oh no.
You're
Okay.
right after him.
You guys
Okay,
have?
lit.
The big guy
22.
takes half of his movement speed to stand.
How much HP?
He's in no
do you have?
rush. He stands and looks at you. And even though you can't see him, the person underneath all this armor, you can hear his breathing grow more rapid. And though he's part giant, he's also, this guy's a barbarian. So he's raging as well.
Oh god. Oh no.
He's taking a swing at you. 17 plus 5. Does that hit you?
Yeah, that hits.
9 points of damage on the first hit.
Oh god.
Natural 20 on the second.
Are you dead? Points of damage?
4. Natural 20
Oh.
to hit on the second. 18 points of damage on the
Oh my
second.
god.
Are you dead?
As he just takes
Almost.
this massive war axe and just takes it clean across your chest.
Oh, hell
Wait.
no.
Doesn't
I have
completely cut.
resistance to slashing damage
So you take
with
half.
my rage. 8, so
9 and 4. 13.
I'm really glad I remembered that though because I would have been
Yeah.
screwed.
That's all he's doing with his turn. That's all he really can do. Cypher.
Okay. They're 30 feet in my distance, correct?
Not 30. There's 60 feet.
So I'm seeing this guy get kind of fucked up.
Yes.
My
Clear.
bow didn't do anything.
He cut very heavily through, your scales, and, you're bleeding pretty heavily at this
Oh
point.
god.
And these guys are,
Fighting.
Fighting the other guy.
you know what? I'm gonna come right back to you, bud. One thing at a time. I'm gonna try aim again.
Okay.
So wait, where is this guy hurt at?
The big guy?
Yeah, is he hurt
The
anywhere?
really big guy?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
No idea.
He has various dents in his armor, but he's still 60 feet from you. You just see, this figure. You can see his
Alright.
armor, and you can see the
So-
Dragonborn fairly well, but, you...
So
yeah,
can
you
I
have no
move
idea.
30 feet more?
Yeah,
Just to get a closer look?
sure.
I'm gonna do another bow and arrow at this guy's eye.
Okay, go for
I
it.
have to blind him. 8 plus 7.
It's not all over.
8 plus 7.
Yeah.
Same deal. You take a shot at him, only this time it's a little bit further from the eye. You strike, maybe the upper chest area, and the arrow just shatters as it hits him. It hits him more dead mass.
Alcoholic.
At this mess, end my turn.
Matixia. So you were just now approaching this wind wall.
Okay. If I went into the wind wall, would it suck me up, or would I be able to fight, or would
You
I?
could pass through it. It's difficult terrain, so you would be moving a little bit slower, but besides that, it won't really impact anything.
So I guess I'll just go in and I'll attack.
Okay. So you push through the wind wall. Your hair is kind of blowing around your face. There's this large deafening gust that fills your ears. Then you pass through the other side, and it's almost like passing into the eye of a hurricane, where it's a little bit calmer. It's still pretty loud. You can't hear anything from the outside now, but you can at least kind of see a little bit of what's inside, and you see this Goliath that is just swelled up to, almost twice his size, and the two of them in the midst of fighting it, both of those two have their backs facing you, and this Goliath is on the other side of that. So you'd have to walk around, potentially going back into where some of this wind is in order to take a strike at it. So if you're going to do an attack, you can roll it, just roll with disadvantage.
Can I attack with both my swords?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so one would be your normal attack. Technically, they're considered allies in this, so you get a sneak attack. You get a sneak attack bonus, so you can add 1d6.
Okay. So that's a 9.
What is your to hit? What is your
It's
plus?
5.
So 14. AC is 15. So you sneak up behind him, and you don't know if it's the gust of the wind or what, but you can't get any solid hits in on him. But now he's essentially surrounded either with the wind wall at his back, her kind of half in the wind wall, half out, and then you two right in front of him. And it's back up to him. And he knows that you're there at this point. He knows that you guys are there. And he realizes, shit, this isn't good. This doesn't look good for me. So he's going to take a final look at you and just say, there's so much going on here that you don't understand. Stay out of my way. And then he jumps back. All three of you get an opportunity attack on him.
That's not creepy at all, guys.
Tears is a 19. You're an 8.
8.
Quarter staff.
I'm 21.
Oh,
So you hit. Go ahead and roll for damage, just your
plus 4,
normal.
so 12.
So you do not hit. You're kind of taken back at what he had just said to you.
8.
8 points of damage?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys each get hits off of him, hits off on him until he disappears through the wind wall. Now there's just this wall. You guys can still see him because I know he had said that you can see out of it. And he just starts booking it toward kind of where this tower is. He's heading that direction, heading towards something. You don't really understand what because it's just wall that way, but that's where he's going. That's where the larger guy is, and that's where the two were running in that direction. So, Thomir, is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna wild shape.
Okay, what are you wild shaping into?
An elk.
Okay, that's really cool. So, is wind wall a concentration spell?
Yes.
So that disappears. So you turn into an elk,
I'm
just being
going.
majestic and shit.
I'm gonna pick up Nova and run towards
So don't let him get away.
Yeah.
And I'm screaming like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. No, but he like comes up to you and kind of gives you like a little nudge with one of his antlers. And what are you doing? Are you hopping on?
I am very resistful of it, but I'm just like, okay, I guess.
So you hop on the back of this elk. What are you doing?
I mean, I guess I don't have
I
a
mean,
ride.
I'm pretty large. You can jump on. Kind of
All right, I'll hop on the
Okay. They both do that. We'll say that could be a reaction for both of you guys. And you start taking off toward this running guy.
Yeah, I'm 50 feet.
You're moving a bit slower since you're holding two people.
Okay.
So you don't quite catch up to him, but you are able to maintain the distance.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting this big guy.
So I'm still in a frenzy.
Yes.
So I still get 3 attacks.
Yes.
So we're gonna do.
He is standing, so you no longer get advantage.
So we're gonna do the giant slayer hand axe first. Ooh, that's rough. That does not hit.
I have a good play.
Okay.
Then
There's,
vicious hand axe.
Just wait on it, bud.
Nat one.
excited. Natural one?
whatever
Yeah.
The other one is.
With your vicious hand
My
axe,
second hit, yeah, the vicious hand axe.
you take a swing at him, and it gets caught in a bit of his armor that's like, it's kind of in like a scaled armor kind of deal. It gets caught into where part of the metal overlaps with another part, and it gets stuck fast. So you're technically not grappled, but one of your weapons is now incapacitated.
Okay.
So you can get 2 weapons off. I mean, you did 2 attacks already, so yeah, you can do your
So
third
this is
attack.
the third.
Transforming does not break my concentration.
Really? So you still have a wind wall. Okay, so it actually looks kind of badass. It really weird at the same time because like they're both riding on this elk that is surrounded by this wall of gusting wind.
Well, if the wind it must
It followed.
expand too, because I'm
Oh yeah, because you're bigger.
centered on.
Yeah. And as you're riding along, like there are more guards and people who are now rushing from like other skirmishes and things around town, and some of their torches and things are getting blown out because of the wind. And they're all like, a lot of them are just kind of watching you, like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ. Another nat one.
Another natural one.
Fucking horrible.
So you get the one stuck, and he wraps his arm around your arm that's there, and you swing again, and he does the same thing. You are now considered grappled.
Oh no.
Nova, you're riding on the back. of this,
As the wind will
of this
wrap
majestic
around
steed.
all three of us.
Your hair is blowing in the wind.
Oh my god. So I then aid Thamir, which boosts Thamir with toughness and resolve. And I also boost Matixia too, which kind of their hit points increase by an additional 5 for each slot level.
Are you, so this is a spell, are you casting it as a first or a second level spell?
It is a second level.
Oh, cool. So you guys each get 10 temporary hit points. And Thamir, I'm going to give you inspiration. So at some point during this battle, if you want to just give yourself advantage on something, you can. Because, like, you think that you look really badass right now. Back up to the big guy. Oh. So he has both his arms wrapped around you, and he just crack, headbutts you in the head twice.
Ah!
Ah!
How was it?
18.
18.
So the first one doesn't really do too much. You're able to kind of get your forehead up to take most of the damage, but the second one cracks into your nose, breaking it.
Oh.
Blood streams down your face. You take 4 points of damage as water fills your eyes.
I'm sad.
It hurts. You're not like crying, but like it hurts, man. You ever been hit in the nose?
Oh yeah.
And you're still considered grappled. Cypher.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna use Pass Without Trace.
So you're just gonna... No one sees you at this point.
Okay, so... But I'm gonna use Pass Without Trace because that's an hour. I'm gonna go behind this guy. The giant.
Okay. You can kind of go off to the side.
Offline.
You can go offline. You were kind of approaching at an angle. You can get just a little bit behind him, and you're almost up against the wall at this point. And you could actually see the other people from where you were standing now. It looks like they've taken cover behind the tower, because now you can see the other side of the tower. And they're just standing there.
Okay.
Waiting for something. And you can see a little bit of light emerging from like a space.
Those are the people that
He's
that took
wrapped
the
around
gauntlet,
you.
right?
Are his arms under?
It was.
or
You
over?
saw it. So you don't... I mean, they're looking. You did pass without a trace, so roll a stealth quickly.
Oh, but this is the thing.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 4, and you have a +10 on your stealth.
Yeah,
None of them
thank
seem
you.
to see you.
Alright, so how close am I to this monster? To this giant? I'm behind him.
Yeah, you're like off at an angle, kind of, so maybe 20 feet or so.
And he's in the air being held, right?
You can no longer see him. You can maybe see like a little bit of his arm, but like this guy is so big, he's like got him wrapped up, and you're now kind of back this direction.
Alright.
So we are on to Matixia. You're riding on the back. So your movement speed is not your own. You can do something.
You're riding on the back of the El Camino.
Yeah, I do have +4 in animal handling, so I don't know if that.
I don't think that would count with me.
You can pet him if you want.
Do anything yet.
You can hold your action if you want to, like, if you can hold it, and then your trigger is when you get close enough to attack. You can do that.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So we're back up to Bone Spar. He's running back toward where you guys are, where this big guy is. You don't see him. You guys obviously do, because you're right hot on his tail. And it seems like what follows, a whole bunch of things happen, but they all seem to happen simultaneously. So he reaches you and pulls a weapon out. He's about to strike you from behind. You guys are about to watch this happen. But as he winds back for it, and you are starting to make your way toward where these guys are at the back of this tower, and you guys are so close, right on the back of Bone Spar's heels, time seems to freeze. And an explosion rocks Thane's stand as a bright flash finally cuts through the darkness. A single bang, like the sound of 1,000 war drums being struck in perfect harmony, is met...
Oh my god!
That was actually perfect.
That was perfect. Is met with the response of an echo against the mountains in the distance and a high-pitched whistle in all of your ears. Even above this wind, you can hear it. The wooden beams of the palisade ahead of you, or in your case, right next to you, splinter and are thrown as if weightless in all directions. Chunks of the flaming material fall back into the already burning town, igniting more tents and melting more snow.
Oh my gosh, I forgot there was a fire.
Littered among the raining debris are body parts. twisted, blood-soaked remnants of the Order members unfortunate enough to have been standing near the explosion along the wall. And all of you can see that the wall ahead is destroyed. In its place, beyond the smoke and smoldering embers, is darkness. Beyond that, you know, are the gnarled, snow-covered peaks that stretch toward the midnight sky, the Bone Spar Mountains. And, you, because you're right next to this wall, are thrown 10 feet by the explosion.
Ugh.
You're taking 5 points of damage. You and the big guy are each also thrown from the explosion, being pretty close. The tower itself seems to rock and groan, though it stays upright. The explosion was at the large guy's back, so he falls toward you, and he is now currently on top of you.
Now I can bridge.
Turtle.
Is he in my guard or is he mounted on me?
He's
We practice
He's
that.
more mounted. He's more
Okay.
mounted. And Bone Spar, which you realize, like, he's named after the mountains, because the Bone Star Mountains are in the background. He staves off his blow, the one that he was about to strike on you, shields himself. He's not thrown back at all, but he kind of looks back, offers a final glance to you, and continues to sprint past them toward, like, where the smoke and everything is rising. And you see at that same time the two people who were hiding behind the tower, one of them holding this glowing gauntlet underneath this cloak. They exit out that side. All of them are now running except the big guy who's still on top of you.
Whose turn is it?
Thonir.
How far away am I from the big guy?
From the big guy?
Yeah.
So they're prone. You are maybe within 10, 15 feet.
I'm gonna ram the big guy.
Okay. Attempt to ram him off.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll a strength check and do it with advantage because you have a lot of momentum with you, and then you have those two like right on top.
So
I want you two to roll me a acrobatics, or you know what, dexterity saving throw.
So 17. So wait, I don't understand this part.
Ram. Yeah. So you would roll, and then you would roll the what? What did you roll on your dice?
I rolled a 16 to hit.
16. That was the number it said on the dice.
Yeah.
So a 21 to hit. So yeah. Okay.
9 bludgeoning damage.
9 points of damage. In the process, what did you roll?
20.
20? You were able to grab on. Maybe it's that animal handling skill or something.
I have an animal handling skill.
No, well, you rolled a 3. So you're kind of up closer toward the front, so like your hands are closer to the antlers and you have a good grip. You, however, do not, and you go flying off when this contact is made. And from the direction that you're heading in, you fly over the rest of them and then land in the snow. You are going to take just 2 points of damage.
Okay.
The snow, for the most part, breaks your fall. It's not so melted in this area.
Sorry.
It's your turn. The guy on top of you just got knocked off. Like a sudden knocked him aside. You're free for the
Now,
moment.
I don't know that he is the elk, right?
No. You can see you see her
I
on
just see
it,
her riding this random
just like
elk.
whipping her hair.
With a giant windstone
I'm here to save you.
With a giant windstone around me.
Wow.
I just this
Right.
loud wind whistling and
Yeah.
just see wham as he goes flying up and I'm like, what the?
And you see the girl that you punched the night previous. And now both of you kind of have like, Matixia, your nose isn't broken, but it's still like a little swollen from the night before, from when he had uppercut you in the face. And yours is very clearly
Woman
broken, so
beater.
like you guys kind of match.
So I'm still on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand up, obviously, and then is he within striking distance?
He is. Like 5 feet from you.
Is he prone?
Now,
Yes.
well, that's a good question. He's prone.
He's prone.
I don't have either of my weapons, right? Because the one is stuck in his armor, and I either got the other one stuck or dropped it when he grabbed me, right?
You have the giant one.
Okay,
The one
so I
is still
still
stuck
have
in
it.
his armor.
Okay. So then I'm still frenzied because I took damage last round.
Yes.
So I am going to do all 3 of my attacks on him with the Giant Slayer axe. Giant Slayer axe.
Forward strike, back strike, forward
Yeah.
strike.
Yeah, go ahead with advantage.
With advantage. Alright, so that's a nat 20 for the first hit.
In what manner would you like to do this? How would you want to... You get the killing blow on this guy.
Oh.
What do you want it to look like?
Oh, man. So he's down.
He's down. He was just on top of you. You were fucked. They came in, rescued the day, and now you're coming
his
back out
fucking
on
head
top.
off.
Stab him in the eye.
Take his fucking head off.
It's an axe.
With the axe. Both eyes.
Finish him.
I was going to say, I'm going to... It's a one-handed axe, but I'm going to take it with both hands and just come right down in the center of his forehead.
Oh,
Okay.
break the face.
So you bring it down. You're still in a frenzied rage, so, like, you have bloodlust at this point. Like, I mean, the dream that you woke up from and just how odd it was to how reminiscent this is of your whole experience, the memories that have been haunting you this whole time, it all comes out in this one singular moment, and you bring this axe down, like, perfectly symmetrically over his face, caving in the metal helm, and it just buries itself deep into his face. There's like a little splurt of blood out both sides. You could see some like starting to form in the snow beneath him, and it takes you kind of half a second to kind of jimmy your axe free, and there's like more bending metal and things, and you pull it out, and he's done. He's dead as shit.
Hell yeah. Well, first I would like to pull my other axe out of his armor.
Okay. At this point, we're outside of combat, so you guys can say, do whatever you want.
And I would, after I pull my axe out, I would like to search his body.
Okay, roll me an investigation.
19.
So, in searching his body, you find that he is not fully giant, but there is some frost giant lineage in him. And maybe that was one of the driving forces, whether you knew it or not, of that final blow. You find an old amulet, kind of chipped in a couple places. It looks like it was once valuable. Maybe it still has some kind of historical value or something to it, but you probably wouldn't get a lot for it just as it is right now. You also find a letter. The letter is worn, and a lot of it has been either sweat through, or it's just gotten wet. So you can't make out most of it, but it does kind of. It's like a map, like not a good one, like a hand drawn one, where it shows Thane Stand where you guys are. It also shows the Bone Spar Mountains, and beyond that, there's like a little dotted line that leads to a town called Kent. And at the bottom, it says, "Find Arnlana."
Do I find anything else, or just the old amulet and the letter?
Just the amulet and the letter. There's some of this armor that's still there. It looks to be slightly large, too large for you. His weapon, like this large two-handed
Yeah, that's really weird.
axe.
I'm going to revert back.
Okay, so you turn back. Is your wind wall still up?
Now I'm going to drop that.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm gonna
that slowly fades away.
come out of my rage and my frenzy. I suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go up and search the giant?
Sure. So he just did, but if you want to, you still can. Roll for investigation.
What happened to the guy that ran from us?
He's still running. He ran outside of the palisade, and now you have no idea, he's run into the darkness. You guys all kind of
60.
stopped here. Going back through what he had already searched, you don't find a whole lot.
No good weapons, armor.
You have
gold.
the weapons and armor that he had on him. So like this large two-handed axe, this thick, heavy armor. You could probably fit into it. You would maybe need to get it fitted down the road.
What type of armor is it?
It's heavy armor.
Like metal
It's
armor?
like steel,
Oh, then I can't use it.
like steel plate armor.
I'm going to take the hammer.
Okay, you take the hammer. It's massive. I can't remember. I'll send you the specs at some point.
So I turn to them and say, "Thank you guys for helping me towards the end there," and then I apologize to the half-orc for what happened the previous day.
What about me,
friends
fucker?
Again. You Kelly,
I'm
you deserve
pretty
it.
sure we don't know where you are.
I threw 2 bows into his eye.
I can't turn and thank you if I can't see you.
So when the wind wall is dropped and you exit out of your rage, the sounds of the town return to you with a somber clarity, where you can still hear sobbing, crying, the crackling of various fires across the place. Was there anything else that you guys are doing as a group? Are you walking over to them?
No, I'm not doing anything like that. Okay, so let's say I get up finally, brushing off, and you said the guy ran away.
Yeah.
So I currently have no weapons on me because, well, besides my bow, I'm a 2 welder guy. You know what I mean? Can I search this giant too for weapons?
I already took his weapon.
You took his weapon?
Go ahead and roll for investigation.
No, I don't want to do that.
I should roll a nat 20 and like hitting up his ass. You find a mythical weapon.
Wait, but that's,
Who would have thought?
can I really do
Blood of
that?
destiny.
If I get a 20, are you gonna give me a weapon?
If you want to go over and check the, I mean, you do you, man.
Yes, you find
No.
a tooth
I need a weapon.
down.
Prison pocket.
So we're all in the same vicinity, I'm assuming.
You're still like 20 feet away from them.
Okay.
Because you were against the wall when it
Okay,
went
can
off.
I link up with them?
Yeah, so you walk over.
Yes, walk over. Well, you guys already know me.
Yeah,
Can
hit the
I
ground,
ask
slid a little
Nova-
bit, got back up.
If there's any weapons I can get.
So there's this guy who you know murdered a guard the day previously, who escaped, and now he walks over asking for weapons.
I asked him for what?
My weapon's broke in an accident.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I just...
My weapons, bro. She watched you jump out of the tower and stab the ground.
Oh, she does not know. My weapon's broken in a freak accident. What I'm trying to do is get my weapons back. I'm not gonna harm anyone. I just want my 2 swords back.
But what are you trying to do with it?
Chase that guy who took the gauntlet.
Okay.
This time you guys hear loud footsteps, loud pained footsteps coming from inside of the tower. The door is still open from where it had been thrown open before. You hear like these pained, uneven steps coming from down the stairs, and then a bloodied hand comes and grabs the doorway, and you guys see Zira pull himself out of the door, completely covered in blood. His arm almost looks like it was taken. Yeah, the quartermaster. He was in the tower as well. Where'd they go?
They went off into the darkness.
And he looks down at the big guy. Where's the gauntlet?
It's
They
gone.
took it.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm back.
He like takes a step to you, like he's gonna try to rearrest you, and then he looks down at his sorry state and just.
You're in tough shape like me, bud.
How much HP do you have?
At 14. How about you?
I don't know what HP is, but I don't feel good.
Well, I feel fantastic.
You said they've gone
They've gone.
with the gauntlet.
With the gauntlet. We tried to stop them, but
We've got to go.
distracted.
And he starts to step out of the doorway, and there's just this very small hand that like kind of touches him.
Oh gosh, guys, this is
Sarah, man. You're too hurt. You're too hurt. You see, he's kind of bloodied as well, and he's covered in blood, but it looks more like it's not his own. And you see his eyes are welled up with tears. Chlorothane didn't make it. He's dead. But you're gonna be dead too if you follow them. Zero looks over at you. We need to get that gauntlet.
I can get you that gauntlet.
Oh,
He looks over at Jeff. I can't, I'm too hurt to go with them. And Jeff looks back and says, and the tower needs protected too. Go with them. And he looks over and he says, he points at you. Watch this one. We'll send a couple other of our order initiates with them to help.
I'll
And
go with him.
I'll stay back. And he looks over the rest of you. Will the rest of you go? If you go, we can offer you your freedom.
I'm ready for it. I want my freedom. I want my new swords fixed. I want fresh armor. And I want to get paid.
He looks at you with a seething hatred because you killed Frank. And he
If you want that gauntlet back, those are my options. Those are my requests.
he looks over at Jeff and they share a nod. It's too dark to travel right now. There's frozen lakes between here and the mountains. They need to rest for the night. Maxwell is in one of the tents. He was getting healed up from last night. He should be good to go, so bring him along with you. I know he has a score to settle with this one. He kind of offers another last look at this section of the palisade that's destroyed, and then he just breathes this deep sigh and goes back into the tower.
Wait,
and you
sir.
can hear him.
Yeah, Zero. If you want me to go on this quest, I need my swords by tomorrow. And my freshly ammo for bows. By tomorrow.
He pulls out his bloodied short sword. It seems like he was doing battle with some of the stuff in the tower before he had been overpowered. And he just tosses it to the ground at your feet. There's a couple fallen guards and these fucking attackers laying around. You can check their bodies. Maybe they have something.
I'm gonna start searching the bodies.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna search some bodies as well.
Plan on
So
going
he didn't even look at you. He would have recognized you, but he was so caught up with this one and just defeated that he went back in.
If you let him go, all I did was steal from this guy.
So,
He straight up killed his buddy.
Thamir, go ahead and roll for investigation.
I got a 17.
You look over a couple of the bodies. You find a handful of gold pieces. We'll say, like, just 15 gold worth among all of them. You search, like, 3 separate bodies.
I'm doing a cherry frisk.
Go ahead and roll for investigation as well.
limited search for weapons.
Is that
Six.
nice?
For limited search for weapons.
You find a bunch of letters, almost exactly like the ones that Tazurek had found about Kent and finding Orlana. There's a couple daggers and things that you find.
Did I find?
Yeah,
I found the letters too.
yeah.
Okay.
You found letters on each of the bodies. So you searched 3 bodies. You found 3 letters.
Wait, I see her now. I see Nova, right?
Yeah.
Can I pull out the thing that I found out of Nova in my pocket and show her what the hell is this?
Yeah. You doing this in front of everyone?
Hell yeah!
Okay. So they're all sitting there, and Jeff's still down here, so he's like kind of looking.
Oh, Jeff.
Now, Nova, I found this in the pocket of an elf. What is this? Whip it out.
What is it?
Roll perception. So he's showing you a picture of you. That's all you know.
I can't read it.
That is
In
me.
there, and there's some just chicken scratch on the bottom. 7.
Yeah.
So the angle that he's holding it at, you don't get a good look at the picture or the wording.
Would I know what language it's in? Is it one of the ones that I speak?
Nope.
I look at him very confused because it's a picture of me.
Jeff's like, oh, that's you.
Oh my god.
What is this?
What else?
Answers.
One of the attackers?
No. It was one of those nomad elves going near the gate of the gauntlet.
Like one of the shopkeepers?
Yes.
You stole that from him?
I did not steal it from him. I found it on his body.
He's dead.
He's dead. I didn't kill him though.
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. I did not kill him this time.
You were in my tent last night.
I wasn't your tent. You didn't want to help me.
No. I still don't.
Well, if you want that gauntlet, you need my help.
I mean, I guess if it puts me in good graces with my Lord and Savior, Palkazar Thane.
Forgive me for my sins.
Yeah, he shows it to you. You don't know what it is. You don't recognize it. It's a picture of you. It creeps you out. And then you put it back in your pocket.
Yeah. No one knows what it is.
No, he just has a picture of you.
Yeah, I have a picture of you on my wall.
You need to help me out.
What am I
language is
supposed
it?
to? I don't even know what it is. I can barely see it.
It was a picture of her.
What was the writing on the back that I can't
It was
see?
just a bunch of, like, squiggles.
Does anyone here know what the writing was on the back?
I didn't see it.
Nope.
I saw it, but I
Not
couldn't
one of the
understand.
languages
I speak 5 languages, that's not one of them.
Hey, can I have that picture?
You don't. It's just her. Just look at her.
You cannot have it because it might be worthwhile. I will show you it. Can I show her it?
You're asking Jeff?
Here is this poster.
Wow, I'm looking at this head on and seeing these words that he's showing me.
Roll an intelligence check. So if you remember, there was more than just the picture. There was the imprint on the other side. Are you showing that as well?
Is that going to be
19.
important?
Yeah.
Then yes, I show her everything.
19? So not only does he show you the picture and the handwriting, the thieves' cant written underneath it, on the other side of it is the ink imprint of a badly deformed hand, like one that had been burned. And you recognize this from your days, like being a thief and working with the various thieves guild in the area. It is a very dangerous segment of the thieves guild that's called the burned hand. They're thieves, but they're also assassins. And you gather reading the thieves' cant on the front that Nova was a target.
Oh.
And that
She doesn't know that yet.
she doesn't know that. Only you know this. Essentially, what it's saying on the front is they are offering 500 platinum for
Wow.
proof of her demise. And it's just saying return to essentially like the burned hand headquarters, which you don't know where that is, promptly.
Are you going to show that information with all of us?
Sorry, I can't understand.
He's mixing in
the
some of his whey
readings
protein.
on that picture.
Useless.
Really? Because
So wait.
I saved you.
You saved me?
I did. I took off your wrist ties.
That was you?
Bindings.
You were the reason he came to my tent.
Yep, that's right.
This is all because of you?
That's right.
What's your name?
Matixia.
My lady Matixia. I am forever in your debt.
You checked out some of these bodies too, right?
Yes,
That's what you wanted to do. You find 3 daggers,
Yes!
1 scimitar, and 2 more short swords.
Oh, so you telling me I got 5, 6
You don't have
swords?
to take them all.
Oh, I'm taking all of them. They're all in my backpack.
He's just an arm full of weapons. He's like, I'm never running out of weapons
Nope.
again.
You do have a carry
When he
weight.
breaks more, he'll have extra.
Yeah.
Hell no.
You have a carry weight. So.
Carrying these swords.
Jeff turns to you guys, and you're kind of all
That's why you
a group
listen
now.
to these.
You're all kind of grouped together. So, I'm gonna go gather up some guards and Maxwell and stuff, and then
Thank you.
we're gonna try to get some sleep, and then we'll leave first thing in the morning when the sun's coming up. And the people who did this, they're gonna get it for killing Glorthane, and for
He's the lucky one.
yeah. I mean, I guess he's up in paradise now with Balcazar and everyone. He worked really hard. I'm gonna be just like him one day. And then he walks off.
What, dead?
You whisper as he walks away. Is there anything else that you guys want to do as a group before we call it a night? It's midnight right now, maybe slightly after. It's probably like almost 1 a.m. at this point.
Are we gonna have a
I have
good
a lot
rest?
You'll end up sleeping in until like 8 a.m.
So a good rest.
Yeah, it'll be a long rest. You guys will wake up with full HP and everything.
Really?
Yep.
Woohoo!
Thank God.
But is there anything as a group that you guys want to do? Any conversations that you want to have?
I'm Cypher the Elf. As you guys may know, I have 2 missing fingers and I killed Frank.
So my name is Nova the Elf. I am a cleric, and obviously, I am the Beyonce of the group.
Who the fuck is
I'm
Beyonce?
wanted.
Well, you don't.
Yeah, we don't know that. You don't even know that.
Oh, right.
She's the only person.
You're not one. Oh,
Never mind.
don't threaten me.
I'm just a cleric.
Tezra. That's all you need to know.
What? Oh my gosh, you guys are so...
Who's this guy?
I'm Matixia.
Thank you, my lady.
What are you?
I'm a half orc, as you can see.
What's the other half?
That's all you need to know.
And you, my sir.
I am Thomir Strongwind.
Oh,
Makes
because of the
sense.
wind wall.
And the thunderclap.
It was strong.
And when you eat a bunch of beans.
Don't go giving away my secrets.
Okay.
The band's back together.
For the first time.
For the first time.
Okay.
Just
So
sleep.
as you guys kind of get acquainted with one another and find your way back to some of the places you were staying, Tazarek, you kind of struggle searching for another tent, but ultimately you find one. Because the festival was still 2 days away, so it's not completely packed. So they hook you up with a tent. People are kind of scurrying here and there, putting out the last of the fires, including the fire in the house. Cypher, at some point over the course of the night, you witness Kieran's wife speaking to him about you, and he kind of gives you a couple like side eye and like some darkened glances, but it seems like as of right now you kind of have the limited approval from the guards for now, but they still have you go back to the regimented site. They allow you to keep your clothes and everything. They give you a tent as well, but they stand a couple guards outside of your tent for the night just to make sure you don't try to bolt.
I'm VIP.
The guard presence over the damaged portion of the wall is pretty significant over the course of the night in case anyone comes back for any reason. It's relatively a sleepless night for everyone except for you guys. The whole town is devastated by the loss of this gauntlet because this is like their largest religious item. And but despite the fact that everyone has a really hard time sleeping, you guys sleep like babies because you don't really care about like the religious. I mean, you kind of do, but it's not your god. Like, you know, it's saddening, but it's not as devastating as it is to some of the other people.
I just lost my job though.
And with that, we're gonna end it for the evening.
Will the city be paying us to
Long
find the
rest
gauntlet?
I'm getting paid.
Or
We never made a deal.
Long rester.
Yeah, I
we
made
never
a deal.
made a deal, guys.
I made a deal. Speak for
Yeah,
yourself.
if they're paying this guy, the
that we're
criminal,
getting paid. We're helping your ass.
I made a deal.
So you gotta feed us the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't do it for the money anyway. I do it for the chaos.